If you're having trouble deciding which portable Anker power bank to get to charge your devices with, then you're in the right place, as I'll be covering all of Anker's top high-capacity power banks to see how well they charge a smartphone, tablet, and laptop. Hey everyone, welcome back to Tech Up. Well, this time around, I won't be going over some magnetic power banks like I usually do for the iPhone, as I finally and recently decided to delve into the market of portable power banks. I'm actually looking to find a good Anker power bank to not only charge my iPhone and iPad quickly, but have the capability to really charge my MacBook when I'm on the go, because I truly want something that can deliver on giving me a solid charge. So in this video, I'll be going over just that. But before I cover how well all of these 4 power banks charge and compare them, I'll also cover the design and features of each before going over their charging speeds and capabilities for one device or several devices at once. And towards the end, I'll go over a couple more things before I give you my opinion on which one I would go with. Now, before I get into this review, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're interested in these types of reviews, so you can be up to date on more comparisons like this for other products that I showcase on this channel. Now, this is a non-sponsored review, and if you want to help the channel out, check the affiliate links down below if you find the power bank you're looking for. Anyways, let's get into it. Starting off with the design of these power banks, as you can tell right away, there are 3 that pretty much look identical to each other in their design. And these 3 are the Anker Prime power banks. They are the latest ones from Anker that offer newer charging features and performance compared to the Anker 737. However, the newer Anker Primes don't necessarily mean they're better than the 737, and I'll cover that later on. But when looking at the new ones, they offer a slight redesign, and the biggest difference is the black front panel with bigger smart displays compared to the Anker 737. The buttons are identical across all of them, and the ports will vary, but on the newer Anker Primes, they now include charging port pins at the bottom. So with these, you'll be able to charge them on Anker's charging base, which is sold separately. But this is a 100-watt fast charger for the Prime power banks that also includes 3 additional ports, with pretty good charging capabilities as well. And the magnets on top of the base for the Prime power banks is really nice. I pretty much see this as a handy, convenient base for charging, but it really isn't that essential. You can still charge the Primes without the base charger at these types of charging speeds. As for the Anker 737, you could get up to 100 watts to charge it as well. But where the big difference is between the 737 and the Anker Primes is that you supposedly will have more battery cycles on the 20K Anker Prime power bank compared to the 737. However, more battery cycles won't mean it's better, since there are other pros and cons with all of them. So to make things easier and get a good idea of what each offers, here's a rundown of all the charging specs and features for them. And it certainly does vary between all of these. Now, for the most part, they consist of a USB-A port and 2 USB Type-C ports at the top. The only exception is the 12K Anker Prime power bank, which only offers 2 USB Type-C ports. And the charging speeds will vary depending on if you're charging 1 or 3 devices at the same time. Now, going back to the smart displays on these Anker power banks, the display features will be different. So for the Anker Prime power banks, for the most part, they will be the same, with a few more features on the Anker 250-watt Prime power bank, which comes with the ability to connect to Anker's smart app via Bluetooth. With this app, you'll have more access to information on your 250-watt power bank when it charges, and also have the ability to find it with a feature that pings the power bank to let you know where it's at. On top of that, the app also gives you a handy section where it can calculate the number of charges a certain device can get when you add it to the app. This can also be displayed on the power bank screen to show you how many times your iPhone can be fully charged with the amount of battery you have on your power bank. As for the other Primes, they don't have these features, and the same goes for the 737. Now, speaking of the 737, it comes with a few less features that you can adjust compared to the Prime power banks, but to me, it's not a difference maker. For the most part, the 250-watt Prime power bank by far packs the most cool and unique features out of any of these. Okay, but enough with the design and features of all these, and let's get into the important part of the review. and that's how do they perform when charging various devices. So I went ahead and tested their charging performance and speeds on my iPhone 15 Pro Max, as well as on my iPad Pro 11 and my 16-inch MacBook Pro to give you a smartphone, tablet, and laptop charge comparison. And I first charged them individually before doing charging tests with two devices being charged at once. And for all my charging tests in this review, I started charging my devices when they hit 20%. And by the way, for the first couple of charging tests that I did here, they were without really me using these devices, while they were charging to see what I could get. So here are my charging results for my iPhone 15 Pro Max on all four of these power banks. As you can see, the Anker 737 actually edged the 250 watt Prime power bank from start to finish, with more battery life left after fully charging the iPhone. As for the iPad Pro 11 charging tests, it had similar charging results like on the iPhone, but the 250 watt Prime power bank turned out to end up with more battery life left after fully charging the iPad. Now, when it came down to my 16-inch MacBook Pro, the 250 watt Prime power bank turned out to be the best, as it managed to charge my MacBook the most compared to the rest. On top of that, it had more battery life, and that makes sense since it has the most battery capacity. As for the 200 watt Prime and Anker 737, they charged for the same amount of time before the power banks were depleted, but the 737 still charged the MacBook more. Now, if you're looking to use these power banks for charging two devices at once, I did perform those charging tests. So in these tests, I decided to charge my iPad and MacBook from 20% at the same time while using my MacBook during these charging tests. And these were the results. Now, if you were to replace the iPad with the iPhone in these tests, it would be about under 10% more battery per these time tests with the iPhone and MacBook. As for three devices being charged at the same time, I didn't perform those tests as I'm not someone who would be planning on constantly charging three things, and I was looking to only charge two devices max when getting these. Anyways, the 12K Prime power bank won't be able to charge three devices, but the other ones do. And one neat feature that I didn't mention earlier is that the 200 and 250 watt Prime comes with a 65 watt USB-A. Unlike the rest, which is nice to have if needed. Also, charging two laptops with 100 watts is a nice feature on the 200 watt and 250 watt Prime power banks, but it can result in overheating them. And realistically, to me, it's overkill. I won't need that much. However, if you're curious to know how well these charge, I did test that out as well and got these results. As with these types of results, you'll also expect higher temperatures on the Prime power banks, unlike the 737 after charging them with a 100 watt charging base or charger. In the end, if I were to go with a well-rounded power bank for my use out of this bunch for the money, I would consider the Anker 737. And for those that may be interested in a Prime power bank and they have a 737, I personally don't think it's worth the upgrade depending on your use. You pretty much get the same things out of the box with a smaller display, but the 24,000 mAh battery with its 6 4,000 mAh batteries is efficient and really fast for single device charging, and it's right up there with the Prime power banks with charging multiple devices at the same time. And when comparing them and looking at these tests, the Anker 737 just seems like the best choice to me. Now, if you're looking for more features, the 250 watt Prime power bank would be the one to get for that. Anyways, let me know which one you guys would get. Also, if there are some other power bank brands that you would like to see in a future video up against some of these, be sure to mention that in the comments below. By the way, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more of these videos. Alrighty guys, like always, thanks for tuning in, and I hope to see you back here for the next one.